now introduce you to Danya Subramanian, who will be our moderator.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me all right? Yeah. Okay. Welcome back to the 24-25 school year. I'm so excited to see you. So I'm a senior at Nevada High School this year. I am here today with some amazing students who have grown up or had really insightful experiences being in our NUSD community. Today, we're really going to have an open conversation, almost like a podcast. So, about all their journeys to find inclusivity and a sense of belonging within our NUSD community. Before we begin, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to Dr. Tracy Smith, who brought us together and gave us the opportunity to say some things to keep in mind for the next generation of little kindergartners walking in the big doors of elementary school for the first time, and really all of the grade levels walking in this upcoming year. We truly want to make NUSD the most welcoming and comfortable place for all students and promote diversity, equity, and inclusivity more than we ever had before. We're going to start off by introducing our panelists. I'm going to pass the mic to Jessica and Diana.
Thank you, Donna. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica. I just graduated from Nevada High School in June. And I'm super excited to be here.
Hi everybody, I'm Nathan Matsumoto. I'm also going to be a senior at Nevada High School.
Good morning, my name is Walton Bastardian and I am a junior at St. Mary High School.
Good morning, my name is Nisha Shaw, and I'm going to be a senior at Sanger.
So, our first question for our speakers is, what do the words diversity and inclusion mean to you? And how was your experience with diversity and inclusion growing up? And we're going to start with Nisha.
When I think the words diversity and inclusion, I definitely believe it's the forefront of all student-teacher conversations or classroom conversations. Growing up, I didn't really have a chance to see many who looked like me be a part of those conversations. So now, as I kind of go through high school, I've always tried to make that a point to have conversations with administrators and teachers that give others who look like me and other people of color voice.
To me, diversity is when student voice, no matter ethnicity, disability, or anything, is taken into account, whether that be through literature and listening to student voices as they come up to their teachers. Personally, I have had both good and bad experiences. There are definitely some points in elementary, middle, and high school where I felt ostracized from my peers because of my disability, and like I was a burden due to my accessibility needs, and that, and especially with the student-teacher power imbalance.
For me, growing up, I kind of lived in a bubble, I'd say. I did experience instances where I would get mixed up with other Asian students, or there would be expectations placed upon me based on my race. But for me, diversity is just a variety of perspectives, and inclusion is allowing these perspectives to be heard.
For me, growing up in elementary and middle school, I was really lucky to go to a school where a lot of my peers looked like me and had a similar background, but I know that that's not the case for everyone, so I just feel really lucky for that. And I think for me, diversity and inclusion just means having a variety of perspectives and people from a variety of backgrounds, while also uplifting marginalized voices and voices that might
But one thing that's very important is how diversity is played into our communities. For us, it's our school communities. So our next question is, how would you describe the multicultural climate on the school campus?
Yeah, I definitely do want to shout out Novato just because I think that our school's ASB and leadership has done a really good job, in my opinion, of having events that uplift all cultures. So I know since my sophomore year, Novato has done Noche de Roma or Semana de los Niños, and I think that for me it's been really meaningful to see that our school's leadership and our school's team is making an effort to uplift other cultures that might not be the majority. And it's also just really nice to have all students have the opportunity to engage in cultures besides their own.
I'm new to NUSD. I just came in when I was in 9th grade. So my freshman year, I was just walking through the halls and I saw this mariachi band playing. And I was just so amazed that I go to this campus where they're playing these different types of music and we're accepting different cultures. And yeah, in general, just definitely a concerted effort to celebrate diversity and different cultures on campus.
I would say it's same brain that I've had a little bit of a challenging journey trying to understand diversity on campus. I think in the beginning, I kind of found it hard to assimilate myself because I didn't see a lot of other people who looked like me. But over time, I realized that there are a lot more students on campus who want to push diversity. And so there's been a lot of efforts with different teachers and administrators to make that more of a point and to celebrate different cultures and races on campus. So I'm really excited to see more of that being made this year and to come after.
Thank you for sharing. So it's so important that we don't let go of our own identities in this big world. We're surrounded by so many students with different opinions, diverse opinions really, and I'm glad that we're able to talk about these things today. Our third question today is how can we encourage open and respectful conversations around diversity in our school communities?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is definitely to discourage any assumptions and have respectful conversations. I found that over time when I've spoken on different diversity panels, the biggest thing that I saw myself do initially was simplify my experiences just because I didn't know how others would perceive what I know my experience to be, but I realized that that kind of only adds to the problem because you really want to be honest in what you've experienced. So I think the main point is if a respectful environment is fostered, it makes it a lot more easy for students to feel comfortable sharing their stories.
I would definitely say not pushing the conversations if it's not something you feel comfortable with or if you don't feel like you're well educated enough. But I would definitely say approach these conversations with caution and with an open mind and realizing that your words have a very significant impact on us and your actions and words can lead to significant consequences or benefits.
I think for me, just thinking before you speak is really important. A lot of the bad experiences I've had could have just been prevented by someone taking a moment, considering whether what they're about to say might be harmful to the person hearing it.
I think that it's really important to acknowledge that everyone's experience with diversity is really different, so I think that having a variety of ways to have conversations around diversity is really important, especially when it's with students. It doesn't have to be a super formal panel like the one we're doing. Panels are good, but I think there are also a variety of different events that you can do, like spirit days or having movie nights or affinity spaces. So I think that it's just really important to figure out ways to engage students that will also make them feel comfortable comfortable and excited to talk about diversity.
Schools can take many steps towards creating that safe space for these conversations, but it's also up to individuals because for them to talk to these different topics, they have to also know what's up. So our last question is, what steps can individuals take to educate themselves about different cultures and perspectives in order to be more inclusive?
I would definitely say being mindful and just listening to your students and educating yourself. For example, like accessibility needs, and be willing to adjust your curriculum or the way you conduct your teaching in a way that fits all students and doesn't leave someone excluded, ostracized, which can lead to significant consequences beyond the classroom.
I fully agree with what you said. I also think a big part of it is just engaging with different knowledge about different cultures and different people's experiences. Like I know from my own experiences, I've had the opportunity to educate others on my own religion and different holidays I've been able to celebrate. And I found that usually it leaves a positive impact on people and they're later able to use that information when they encounter other people with the same belief.
Thank you both. I love being able to share my culture and my identity with my peers. That was a lot. Now I would like to hear from you. Does anyone have a final thought or question you would like to ask our panelists? I'm going to go around the back.
Thank you for being here. What is your biggest piece of advice for educators as they begin this school year?
Take it away, Deshawn.
I would say that probably fostering an environment of respect in the classroom when different cultural topics are brought up. I found that in the past. I've had a hard time feeling comfortable talking about my own experiences just because I didn't know how seriously I would be taken. But I have seen that over time. There's a lot more of an effort. But I know sometimes certain teachers might be afraid or feel like it's not their place to step in. But a lot of times, it's not uncomfortable for the student. It's rather appreciated when someone's trying to take the time to understand where you're coming from or what you're trying to say.
I would definitely say being mindful that your students have a life outside of your classroom and that your class is, no offense, not the center of their life. And that we have needs maybe that, or problems maybe that is home issues, disabilities, other cultural stuff, and sometimes they're out of our control, and we would really appreciate it sometimes if you could be empathetic to that.
In my time at Nevada High School, I've seen a lot of positives both on campus and in the classrooms. For me, I'd say a lot of the coursework I've seen has been very inclusive, seeing a variety of perspectives, and I just really appreciate that. I love going into class every day knowing that I might be learning about or hearing from an author from a different cultural background and just seeing this variety of perspectives.
Yeah, I think that for most students, it always means a lot when their teachers or other adults on campus are excited to talk to them. So I think it's always nice knowing that if you ever want to talk about your culture, share about something you did with your family over the weekend, that your teacher is going to be there to listen and just be really interested. And I think that kind of going off of that, whenever there's like spirit days or events going on campus that are related to like diversity and inclusion, it always means a lot when teachers also seem as excited as the students. So I think that can definitely go a long way in getting students who might not typically be interested, be interested.
Thank you all. So this was just a stepping stone for all the future conversations about diversity, equity, and inclusivity. I want to thank every single one of you here today for listening and being open to hearing our panelists speak on their experiences. And thank you to Jessica